Good evening, everyone. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I figure, especially on this stormy night, it would be a perfect night to do some storytelling. The other night I posted a video where I spoke about how there's a lot of mysteries in rock and roll. And that's one of my favorite subjects, especially. The other night I spoke about how Syd Barrett randomly showed up to Abbey Road studio one of the nights that Pink Floyd was recording an album specifically about him. But tonight I'm going to talk about the supposed death of Paul McCartney in 1966. Now, I don't necessarily believe that Paul McCartney really died in 1966. I'm a huge Beatles nut. But there are some interesting points about it. One being, the Beatles were, from what I hear, world-changing at the time. And to think in 1966, at the height of their success, if Paul McCartney, or any of them, would have passed away, I'm sure there would have been a lot of suicides. Just general madness would have swept a lot of people. I believe that. However, I don't know. But let's get into the interesting story here. Now, it's a really long one, and there are literally hundreds of possible clues. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll do a couple videos of this if anybody finds it interesting. But let's get into it. So supposedly, on the night of, technically I guess it would have been the morning of November 9th, 1966, the Beatles were recording at Abbey Road. And apparently all night they were having a huge argument. And finally, around 5 in the morning, Paul McCartney stormed out of the studio, jumped in his white Aston Martin, I believe it was an Aston Martin, sorry. Got in his car, and it was a very stormy night, just like tonight. And he was driving home, and there was a woman hitchhiking, and he picked her up. Supposedly her name was Rita. Well, she realized who she had gotten a ride from, and she went into a frenzy. He lost control of the car and smashed into a lorry. She managed to escape, apparently, but he was pinned in the car, and when she came back, the car had exploded, and Paul was decapitated. So, around 6 a.m., the remaining Beatles at the studio decide to leave, and as they're leaving, a policeman, a Secret Service agent of MI5 shows up at Abbey Road and claiming to be a man named Maxwell. And he said, "There's been a terrible accident. We need you to come with us." So they went. They had to identify the body, and unfortunately, apparently it was Paul. And so they went back to a MI5 safe house, apparently, and they had to discuss what they were going to do, because Maxwell explained to them that this could be very bad for the country, especially at the time. They were just recovering from World War II, don't forget. There are some strange things about this. So they agreed that the best thing to do was to keep it silent, keep the band going, keep them making lots of money for the country. And what they would do was hold a fake Paul McCartney look-alike contest in which the winner would actually be